Hello. Don't bloody hell. This thing's zoomed in on my face again. Right, I'll just fix the camera. How are we all doing, people? It's great to see everyone. Thank you very much for jumping in. Let me just share the screen. Let's get the screen going. Let's get the Bitcoin chart on. I'm feeling optimistic. Let me know in the chat. Are you feeling optimistic? What are your thoughts on where Bitcoin and the market is at? I am feeling very optimistic. I will say I'm optimistic about the rest of this week, obviously moving into Q4 as well. Yeah, I'm liking kind of obviously how Bitcoin is positioned. And yeah, let me just fire out that I'm live to everyone. There we go. Right, let me just fix my camera and then we'll get going. So let me just position it well and stuff. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Let me know in the chat who we've got in, and let me know, are you feeling like Bitcoin is going to reverse? Are you thinking there's more down coming? Whatever. Yeah, let me know. So, are we ready? Is that on? There we go. That should come on, and then let me just give it the little background effect. Boom! There we go. Right, we're here, people. We're here. Nick, how we doing? Great to see you, mate. John Brown, Bobby. Do we bounce today? I think so. I don't know if we're going to bounce all in one go, John, but I'm optimistic, obviously, going into the rest of this week. It might be a slow grind up. I don't know if it will be as fast as we drop, but I'm optimistic that this has formed a nice base now, at least to go back and test, the sell-off region up here. We are beginning to heal. And Crypto Bro, yo, let's go. Yes, mate. How are we doing? Haven't seen you in the stream for a while, Crypto Bro. Good to have you back, man. Good to have you back. Yeah. But yeah, I'm feeling optimistic. I'm feeling bullish. I'm just feeling very happy and content with where the market's at. That's all you can ask for, isn't it? But yeah, as you notice, the oscillator is now starting to trend up, and we have gone into pink and trending up. That's on the 4 hour. And on the 1 hour, we have had the same happen. We've gone into pink in the last few hours, and this is really started to trending up so far. But obviously, we want to see this start to trend up as well. And then I think that will be a nice signal. So we'll keep an eye on it. I don't know. Did anyone in the Discord? You guys in the Discord? I put this in BLOFIN. I put this into the Discord the other day. It did get quite a nice drop from where I put it in. So I put it into the Discord. It was at 9.3 at the time of the screenshot. So close to actually the highs here. We then got a nice drop down, which, came from about 20% drop. And now obviously we're pushing on up to new highs and zooming on out. I'm optimistic about this thing as well. Thinking that this thing could potentially get a nice run going together. It's the main perps dex on Sui. So I don't know if anyone took notice of it. Don't know if anyone has went in on it. But yeah, I'm positioned on this, and I'm optimistic about it. Obviously, the other one is Zex. That's actually starting to get a nice push up now as well. But yeah, let me know in the chat if any of you guys from in the Discord got in on blue or not. Again, not financial advice, of course. But I broke down my reasoning in the Discord. So let me know. Maybe no one did. But yeah. I'm looking forward to today. I'm excited by what's to come. Let's go, shits and gigs. How are we doing? Up today? I think so. I'm just finishing off my lunch. I was on. Did anyone jump in Wiz's stream before? I was on Wiz's stream about an hour ago. Well, finished about an hour ago. We start to build a bounce to the upside. I don't know about specifically today, shits and giggles, because I'm looking at it as like, obviously this move here. So right, that's the last one now. Oh no, it's not. Got this little bit here. Wow. You'd be pleased to know that's the last of my dinner. Oh, go on, Zex. Go on. These are two perps, Dex tokens. Zex is on Sol, and Blue is on Sui. Kind of just playing to the narrative of Astra a bit. Yeah, so I don't know specifically about today. We could just hang around in here for today. We could go back down. We could hang around in here for today. In terms of the rest of the week, what am I looking at? Well, I think for the rest of the week, the main thing is obviously what happens when we come back in and test supply, which is up here. So in my opinion, at some point this week, we will get a rally together up towards here to test, obviously, the origin of where supply came into the market. As you can see, bang, there's one, and bang, there's two. In my opinion, this will be obviously used as liquidity. So that's why I'm looking at this one and not specifically this area here. So from there, we could then fall off. Looking at it, obviously, what we could do, sort of thing, is we could do this. We could come up there, we could come back down, and then we could go up. Now, obviously, that is in like kind of an ideal world, looking at obviously ideal PA, ideal tests of SR and stuff. But yeah, I'm looking at something like this now. Again, I don't know whether we start to accelerate today, or perhaps maybe it's later in the week. You know, maybe it comes later in the week. But this is what I'm looking for, you know, for the rest of the week. We might not even get, you know, we might not get up to here. It may stop here. We might not come up here and then come back down before going back up. We might carry on up. This is just one plan. But pretty much, I think this is a local bottom. It may not be the bottom before, you know, a rally to all-time highs. But in terms of getting a bounce, I would probably say that this looks like, obviously, a local bottom now. And at least then, obviously, start to maybe press up a bit before either coming back down to new lows or maybe building some consolidation before going higher. ASMR special today. Sounds like you're eating carrots or salad. Oh, pardon me. You just got the brunt of that. It was just a couple of little, what are they called now? They were garlic and parmesan little cracker stick things, and there we go. Why is that zoomed in on my? I would love to know why my camera does this randomly. Let me just reset it. What time Powell speaking today, UK time? I think it's like 20 to 5. I think it's like 20 to 5. Is the CME gap? I don't think there is a CME gap, Jeff. I don't think we left a CME gap. But basically, low time frame, we just have to break above here. You know, this is the level to break low time frame. I don't think we left the CME gap this week. No, we didn't. Because obviously, when CME opened here, so look, CME opened here, and we just continued on. So we actually didn't leave a gap this week. I'm just fixing. Let me fix my camera. Oh, Zex is going on fire. Love it. Love to see it. Things you love to see. It. But yeah. I've just fixed that, and then yeah, we'll carry on. But let me know in the chat what you want me to do. Let me know what you want me to look at, or let me know your thoughts on the market. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on the market. Right, is my camera back on yet? There we go. There we go. Right, that should be on. Might need to do the background again. Yeah. There we go. Nick says up. Yeah. Oh, is that cow go up? Is that meaning maybe the cow ticker? Oh, Z, how we doing, mate? It has been a while. How are you? How are you? How are you, Z? Great to see you, mate. I can't remember the last time you was in. When was the last time you was in? What do you think is the news for the US and Bitcoin is going to be today? I don't know, actually. Is there meant to be some news coming today? Is there meant to be some news coming today? I don't know. I think it may just be, maybe like they're going to start buying or something. I don't know. Obviously, they're looking at budget neutral ways, aren't they, to acquire it? So I don't know. Dump then pump? No, I don't think so. Not in my opinion, anyway. I think the dump's done. I think the dump's done, at least for now. World. Oh, we looked at World yesterday. Do we have to do it again? No way. What? No way. What? I'm still in disbelief about MetaMask going. May. It'd be great. It'll be great, won't it? If it actually happens, and hopefully, the airdrop a decent amount. I think that arrow might be right. Hope so. I'm thinking maybe this, Pellin. I don't know. It will either be this, won't it? And the pump will be, maybe the momentum will be too strong, or we just kind of slowly drift down and then go like that. But I mean, if you're looking at it the most logical way, now obviously we may not do the most logical thing because this is Bitcoin after all. But if you're looking at it the most logical way, maybe that is the most logical. Didn't know you was that handsome, pal. I hope. Oh well, thank you very much. Oh, Z, mate. Z, you are a true gent. Thank you very much. I'm good, mate. I'm good. Yeah, I'm fine. How have you been? How long has it been since you've been in, Z? How long has it been since you've been in? It feels like ages, but I can't really put a time on it. But it must have been a while. Yes, some announcement, speculation. It has to do with the Bitcoin reserve. It may just be like, because obviously they've been looking at budget neutral ways to acquire it, haven't they? So it may be announcing, obviously, how much they're going to start buying, or how many, or maybe the target to get to it, something like that. I don't know. Are these the only discounts you reckon we get for alts? Well, yesterday was a huge discount, wasn't it? Yesterday they were basically on fire. Alts yesterday, they were basically just burning. They were that down. I don't know. We could go lower. We could go lower. I mean, I wouldn't, you wouldn't rule out a move to test, obviously, maybe down here again. Obviously the lows of August. Or was it September that we was down here? I think it was early this month, actually, wasn't it? It doesn't feel that way, but yeah, I think it was early this month. No, we could move to test down here again. Thing is, I suppose it depends on what type of time horizon and risk you've got. Do you know what I mean? If you look at it on, daily, could we come down and test this again? Yeah, we could, but we may also, we may be putting in, some form of higher low perhaps, or whatever. I suppose it just depends on your risk tolerance as well, doesn't it? Like, are you happy maybe holding on another leg down and maybe adding again or whatever? Yeah. Long time. I don't know. It's been a long while. How we doing, Brucey? Last time I was here, you was Donald Trump. No way. No. It can't have been that long. Z, surely. What was the last time you was in? What was it when I used to wear the blonde wig? Was it that? Was it when I used to wear the blonde wig? Because if it was that, mate, you might not have been here for like the best part of this whole year, perhaps. Because I don't think I've worn that in like absolutely ages. Right, is my mouse gonna work here? Let's see. Is my mouse going to work? Why does my mouse only work if it's plugged in now? Seems like the yeah, my mouse just doesn't work anymore. Oh well. I took profits and started day trading. All right, okay, yeah. Well, good, mate, good. I'm guessing maybe you sold close to the market highs then. Shits and giggles wants DOT. Let's see. I'm sure we looked at DOT yesterday. I'll do it again. So DOT, yes, came into a good retest point here. So yeah, obviously now, you've got demand down here, you've got resistance up here. So there's here is your low time frame range on DOT. Here, resistance. We can trim that down a bit. Obviously, depending on what you're going with, daily closes or whatever. So there's your low time frame on DOT. So you want to break above. This is your high time frame resistance on DOT here. So you got low time frame range, obviously support, resistance until broken. If we break above there, we then start to come up and test this area, which is obviously the higher time frame on DOT. If you get above there, you then come up into here again. High time frame resistance on DOT, and then final leg would actually be up to there. So obviously, we've got this, which is lower time frame resistance and stuff. But obviously, if you're talking like big time frames for a bigger move on DOT, you've got 1, 2, 3 levels of importance to the upside. You've got 1, 2, 3, and if you do break above this one, say you start holding above $11 on the daily close, I do actually think it would probably be like one kind of just bullet towards 20 then. And I actually, personally, I don't see DOT going any higher than that. I think if it got to $20, that would be phenomenal for it. It's my personal opinion anyway. Other people may disagree with me. But I think if DOT somehow gets close to $20 again, that is a miracle. In my opinion anyway. Nvidia doing 100 billion OpenAI deal. Could it impact AI coin? We haven't had like AI narrative in ages, have we? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know whether the AI narrative will really strongly come back in crypto. Personally, I think thanks to Asta and CZ, I think personally the narrative going into Q4 may just be perp-dex coins. So obviously decentralized trading. In terms of obviously mostly looking at perps, is my opinion anyway. I think, the release of Asta and potentially how high it could go, obviously with the attention of CZ on it, I think has the recipe to maybe drive a narrative. Where is SWC? It's Tuesday. Well, for one, it's Tuesday, mate. But yeah, unfortunately, Save and Stonksy have kind of gone the separate ways now. So Save is obviously more so obviously going to go and do his own thing more, and obviously we're going to go in a different direction. Obviously spoke to Save, obviously we're still very good friends. Nothing has changed on that front. Best wishes to obviously him and everything that he does. But in terms of obviously Save and the Stonksy channel, that kind, the working relationship has just kind of gone in two different directions now. I purchased Stonksy earlier today. Can't wait to start using it. Yes, Brucey. Have you been given access, mate? Have you been given access? I'm guessing you have. Let me know. Yeah, no worries. What happened? Nothing bad in particular. Nothing bad. Okay, well, I'll go and have a look straight after the stream. Bruce, you may have purchased it since I last looked. I'll go and have a look, mate. Nothing. Me and Save still very, still the exact same as we was when we was on stream. Just obviously in a working aspect, things just come to an end, don't they, at some point and stuff. And obviously, people go in different directions. It's just part of obviously, business and obviously how things are done in business and in different industries. But nothing has changed in terms of me and Save being friends or anything. Yeah, still exactly the same as we was, just behind closed doors. But yeah, it was an absolute pleasure having him on, and obviously we had some great streams together, some great times together, and yeah, obviously wish Save the absolute best in everything that he does. Oh, that's had a big sell off, hasn't it? But yeah. So yeah, did anyone get in on this in the Stonksy Discord? I don't know. Make sure you drop a like on the stream as well. Make sure you drop a like. Let's go and pin the BLOFIN link. Plug power did tell you. What do you mean? Short video guru. What do you mean? What do you mean? Plug power. Discipline, how we doing? Great to see you, mate. Great to see you. You've got a few longs already underwater. I'm trying to manage. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. 2 months ago, I said it. Said what though? What do you mean? Plug power? Or is this like a company or something? Oh right, you could have just said that. You could have said that. Oh yeah, look at that. Hey, I think I actually do remember you saying about this. I think I do remember you saying about this. Because yeah, I think so. Hey, nice, mate. Nice. Well done. What is this thing, by the way? Does anyone know what this thing actually is? This 0G. I haven't a clue. I haven't a clue. Yeah, plug power. I remember. Yeah, the hydrogen one. Do you know what? I remember. Yeah, because me and Wiz were on the stream, weren't we? Me and Wiz were on the stream when you said it. Yeah, the hydrogen one. Yeah, nice, mate. Nice. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I remember the stream because Wiz was on the stream because I remember you come in and obviously we got Wiz's opinion on it and looking at it and stuff. Being in plug for 3 years, they are next up for real, says Tantana. All right, okay. Well, short video guru, I hope you make a big fortune on it, mate. I hope you make a big fortune on it. Best of luck in that. This hook needs to get going. Stop messing around. I am long on Pepe again, by the way. I'm long on Pepe again now. I went back in on Pepe yesterday around these levels. I think my entry was like 9.7, I think. So I'm long on Pepe again as well. But yeah, Zex is back up. Wiz, did you get any of this? Did you get any of Zex, Wiz? Come down a bit, but as we can, it's just consolidating after its move. It's just having a nice little bit of consolidation after its move. Obviously, Blue's doing very well. But yeah, Zex, nice big candle there. As we await higher. Go higher, please. Go higher. But yeah, basically what we need is just Bitcoin to break above 113,200-ish. And hold above there, and then good. Also, Joby Electric Helicopters just secured contracts for US contracts. Ooh, very nice. For Olympics in US at Joby Electric Helicopters. Right, let's see. Joby. I don't know if Wiz has ever heard of Joby. What's the ticker? What's the ticker? What's the ticker, Tantana? Is it too late to get into military stocks? I know nothing about military stocks. I'm not the guy to ask. Best guy to ask is Wiz in the chat, Z. Best guy to ask is Wiz in the chat. I have no idea about military stocks at all. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Joby. Like Joby, let's see. Joby Aviation. So these guys just secured US contracts, yeah. Look, it's already up bloody 4x, and it's from there to there since April. Yeah, I have a very specific mindset, me, of where no matter if you think that you said to me this thing is going to go up here and stuff, I have a very difficult mindset of buying this up here when other people are already like 4 or 5x and stuff. On the pullback, yeah, because that's like a decent, like, what, 40, like 60 to 70%, 60% pullback ish, I think. Yeah, it would have been about 55%, wouldn't it? I have a difficult mindset of getting in on something like this. Now, not to say that I don't like to ride the wave on things, I do. But I don't know anything about this, so yeah. Again, no. I bet it's a quite nice one. Hopefully. I'm guessing you bought. Did you buy the lows on that, or been building a position? Let's see. What is going on? Just let me check something. I have got things going off left, right, and centre here. Just hang on. Let me just check something. I'll be back with you guys in a second. Right, I'll be back. I'll be back looking at the map. Just give me 1 second while I look at something. I am still here, though. Do not worry. I'm still here. Right, yeah, we'll be back looking in just a second. Make sure you do drop a like on the stream as well. Make sure you drop a like on the stream. We will be getting going again in just a second. Right. There we go, all sorted. Apologies about that. Thank you very much for bearing with me. Let's see what have we got. Eve Tall. Yeah, mate, the stream was good before. The stream was very good on Wiz's channel. I enjoyed that a lot. XCN. I'm sure, did we not? I'm sure we looked at that the other day. No, we didn't. Let's see. Well, we did get close, didn't we? So it looks like the last time we looked at it, we was in and around here. And I did actually draw the line down to here. So I can't remember the last. We must have looked at this maybe in August sometime. But I got pretty close. We didn't actually come that low, but I did get pretty close to down here. So let's get rid of this analysis, and we can start some new analysis on here. So obviously it looks like, obviously temporarily, we have built quite a nice demand zone here. We can see as well that we do have obviously daily resistance up here. So our range is in here. This is our range. This is obviously where we've got resistance, support, and then obviously until one is broken, then, you know, we that's what we run with. Now, I do think that this is still valid. However, you know, obviously we'd probably come a bit lower if we was to break down below. So if we was going to go lower, I would probably be looking there. Now, higher is pretty interesting because obviously we've got this point here, which is not too much above there, but it is obviously, as you can see, daily resistance. Then we'd obviously then come up to here, and then probably just, I would imagine, just bazooka up to there. So to the upside, obviously we need to get above here, then we go up to here, and then obviously here. So they'd be like my immediate 3 levels I'd be looking at, and that would obviously be, you know, almost a 2x up to there. Obviously to the downside, I think, you know, into there nicely, and you would imagine and hope obviously that would hold, given that that is kind of obviously the last line of defense until that did amazingly, didn't it? That did a 10x at the start of the year, until obviously starting to fill some of this in. So those are my thoughts on XCN anyway. So let me know what you think. Yeah. Average entry 470. Oh, was that on Jobby? Archer was another, I think. EVTOL. I'll be honest, I don't even know what EVTOL is. I'm guessing it's some sort of word for electric vehicle, something for stocks. Up or down on US Open? I mean, US Open is a difficult one, isn't it? US Open's a difficult one. I'm just gonna say up, because I think we're gonna go up from here. I think generally the overall session direction, I believe, will be up as well. But let's get your guys' thoughts. Paul is in the chat. Go and vote. Obviously, if you haven't dropped a like, please do drop a like. We've already got great like ratio, because we've got 16 likes against 28 viewers. So that is a good amount of likes. Can we get this above 20? Can we get above 20 likes? That'd be great if we could. Please do try and push it there. If you haven't liked, drop a like. Filecoin. I haven't looked at Filecoin in a good long while. Let's see. What is Filecoin doing? So Filecoin is actually, again, I don't remember when the last time we looked at this was, but obviously you can see, we could zoom out and cross, but basically this is just big SR. This zone here is just big SR. Now what I do want to do, if we just do zoom out a bit, I want to make that just a bit more compressed to kind of fit obviously the daily PA. So yeah, obviously you can see Stonksy's got it drew in right in there as well. So we do have obviously daily demand down in here, and again you can see Stonksy's got support there, but we'll just add a box there so it's a bit more visible as well. And this still stands. You know, we looked at it last time, and obviously it's still not broken above there, but a lot of coins are in consolidation since, you know, February, March time, whatever, and a lot of them obviously are still awaiting to break out too. Filecoin, I think it's pretty simple. Obviously, this is one trading range. We have support, we have resistance, but we also have obviously high time frame SR. Filecoin needs to regain this. So we need to basically regain $3.20, like for, you know, solid support. Basically, if we go back and have a look, as you can see, support, support, support. We want it flipped to support. We don't want to just tag it and then, you know, get absorbed. We want to see a daily close in there. We want to see any low time frame tests hold and stuff like that. But that would then basically put in, if you go to the weekly, put in obviously a reclaim. We zoom back in, hang on. We zoom back in. As you can see, it would put in a reclaim of super high time frame support. So it'd be very bullish. It would be very bullish for the high time frame structure and outlook. And I think obviously if you do that, you would think it would then go into some sort of trend and start trending. Now, obviously, you could look here, you could look up here, but I think obviously given that it would reclaim. Now, I don't know whether this needs some sort of narrative, and I don't know whether decentralized storage is going to become a narrative or not. It may just piggyback on overall market strength. But if it's going to reclaim there, you would want it to do something worthy and something, you know, like that would actually warrant expansion. And obviously, I think, you know, kind of a blowout move would just be like a rally from obviously reclaiming there up into here, which would obviously put us into supply. And then obviously, I think it would then fall off from there. So that's what I would give like my 2 cents on Filecoin for. Again, I don't know whether it will get there. I don't know, you know, I don't know if it will ever have a decentralized storage rally again. I don't think really, personally, I can't see that coming into narrative. It may just be piggybacking on top of general market direction and strength, but given the fact it's so weak in IE, it's basically at all-time lows. Even a 3x from here would actually be something, you know, that would be very successful for the price. In my opinion, anyway. Let me know in the chat. Does anyone agree with me? Does anyone disagree? Whatever. Let me know. Yeah, let me know. Electric helicopters sound like such a bad idea. I just don't like the idea of helicopters in general. I've never been in a helicopter, and I don't think I would ever get in one. Yeah. I just really don't like them. Asta. Yeah. Let's have a look at Asta. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, we were looking at Asta yesterday, and it's basically almost completed phase 1 of the plan. So, obviously, we had, you know, obviously, it formed support down here. It had resistance up here. And as you can see, we've broken above at 6 o'clock this morning. And 1, 2, you know, sorry, that didn't test it. But, you know, we've had a few taps of it now. So, on this one, it's come down the deepest. And obviously, it's remaining up. So, obviously, as long as we close the hourly there, I think it's, you know, it still remains looking good. Obviously, it's just testing what became resistance for support. So I think this, you know, obviously remains valid and active as long as it holds above there. Obviously, if it gets back below, then it just reopens obviously this trading range here. So obviously, you know, we came down, compressed in here, and then we just traded in here for a little while. But given its strength and stuff like that, you would think obviously it would hold here, and then obviously from there, I think then it obviously starts to go for the high, and then further highs. Yes, afternoon, mate. How we doing? It was a great stream before. Really enjoyed that. We should do that again soon. Any thoughts about Litecoin? I can have a look in a minute. I don't understand why pushing damn like button is so difficult. It's literally a tap, just people being lazy for real. I'm not going to brandish anyone with any slurry words or anything, but please do drop a like if you haven't. It is massively appreciated, and we are close to obviously achieving the same like ratio as viewers. So yeah, it is massively appreciated, and please do it if you can. Afternoon, Sean. How we doing? Love Litecoin. Got some yesterday. Tap that like, family. Yeah, we'll have a look at Litecoin now. I think Litecoin could. I think Litecoin could have a good run at some point. I mean, if you have a look, it's basically just come in for another test of, weekly SR. And obviously weekly SR is in looking at the closes, not the wicks, because obviously, the wicks have gone a bit wild on this. Again, you might draw this a bit different. It may be a bit of a different drawing for you guys. You may not agree with me, whatever. That's fine. But basically, you could draw it as maybe one big range on Litecoin here, or you could have it halfly separated like I have. You may have it just drawn at the extremity from down here to up there, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Basically, if you just zoom out on Litecoin now, and you can replace this with a zone, you could replace it with a box, whatever. Again, doesn't really matter that much. But the levels on Litecoin, and I think some of these are derived from the daily, so they may not make sense exactly looking at the weekly like this. But I've used some of these, so for instance, that kind of makes sense on the weekly there. You can see why, not exactly, but there. But most of these are derived from the daily, I think, so we can actually go and have a look at the daily if you want. Just kind of skips it off. I mean, I would probably put another one up there as well, to be fair. That would test obviously that high from the complacency bounce. But I think at some point it's probably coiling up for a good run. Now for me, what I think I would probably watch out for is if things do obviously start to get kind of nutty and we start to really push on. I think if at any point over this cycle Litecoin reaches a point where it's testing the $400 mark, and it's obviously all-time highs, because it has, I don't know if this chart will show it, but it has reached that a few times, $400. So it doesn't quite go back further enough, I don't think. But I think if it does do that, I think that would probably be the end of the cycle. That would be one signal where I'd be like, right, okay, Litecoin's ran to its all-time highs. Let's get out of the market, is what my thoughts are. But I've got a few levels on the chart. Yeah, I think obviously breaking above 140 would be good. Then up towards kind of 165. In and around 220, 280. And then obviously this region here, which would mark getting towards the highs. Until then, everything's just kind of low time frame trading and noise, isn't it? This is the only channel that will do free TA on request, so tap like. Thank you very much, Shits and Gills. You're a big fan, aren't you? I'm very happy. I'm very happy. How are we doing, Delta? Great to see you, mate. Yeah, all good. All good. I'm surprised if Dex coins are going to pop that Jupiter hasn't yet. Yeah, I mean, that is one aspect in it. Obviously, Jupiter does have decentralized perps on it. Jupiter's already massive, though. Jupiter's already massive. The ones that I'm looking at are tiny, like 30k market cap or below. And I think they're kind of separated into different types as well. Different types of like decentralized perps and stuff like that. For me, I'm just trying to ride the overall narrative if I can. And that's all you can do, really, innit? H-Par being a while. You love it, you, don't you? You love it. Let's see, H-Bar. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. So you got SR down here. Sorry, my phone is just blowing up. So we have got, obviously, SR down to the extremity on the weekly. I want to pull this in and make it a lot more neat and tidy. Obviously, weekly resistance up here. You've then got, obviously, the next leg, wherever you want to draw it. I kind of, when you've got this point here, obviously, I like to kind of put it in zones because you can get, like, obviously some wild wicks. And that's probably what we'd be looking at. So, obviously, we could go down, you know, obviously here probably provides some low time frame. You can probably provide some, reason to say, like, maybe something in this area looks like, obviously, it would have, why does that keep going off? Would have some resistance in here, I imagine. But if you're looking at it, obviously, high time frame, you've got, obviously, resistance, support, and then obviously anything in the middle is kind of just, chopping, low time frame. So yeah, what you want is obviously a break above here, and then that basically just goes into its all-time high then. And then you may be into price discovery, which is about just over 2x away. If you go down to maybe a lower time frame, you can obviously see that it's formed what looks to be somewhat of a trading range. Yeah, so over the last few weeks, obviously Stonksy's got it outlined with the red and the green lines. You can see there. Basically, this is the range on H-bar, obviously dating back to kind of mid-August. So you got support, resistance, and then obviously you're kind of just waiting, aren't you, for either, break a support and then maybe back down towards there, or obviously break a resistance and then maybe trading it up towards either, the high time frame resistance, or obviously maybe going back into the last couple of months up in towards this kind of region here where we've had momentum stop and then fall off. Rob Rabido says, so that rate cut was a whole nothing burger. Basically, yeah, but it was priced in, weren't it? That's the main problem I had with the rate cut was it was priced in. It was like a 98% chance. So there was no surprise for the market. There was nothing for the market to be caught off guard by in a positive way or anything. It was kind of like if everyone expects something to happen, it's baked into the price, innit? So, I think, and it's funny, we was actually discussing this on Wizard Stream. So if any of you haven't, head over to the Wizard of Alt channel at some point. Me, Wiz, and Justin was on it today doing like a podcasty episode. But yeah, we were discussing that on there, and obviously different thoughts about maybe, obviously ceasefires in wars that are going on. Obviously maybe a bigger cut in October than expected. Maybe Powell resigns and gets replaced by, someone that is going to sing to Trump's hymn sheet, and maybe we get like a 1% drop, 100 basis point cut or something. There's plenty of scenarios. There may be something that we don't even know about yet. We still have 2 more rate cuts before the end of the year, and likely another one in Q1 2026. Yeah, unless obviously Trump gets Powell out, which then someone that gets in may sing to his hymn sheet, and probably Trump probably wants like a 1% cut like in one go. I think H-bar will be a good runner. It's held up quite well, to be fair, hasn't it? compared to most things going back to the December highs and stuff like that, it's held up quite well. Who likes XRP? XRP holders. I think that's probably it. So what would really bypass all this manipulation? I don't know if I would call it manipulation. I would probably just call it reaccumulation, to be honest, Rab. I mean, you can obviously see aspects in the Bitcoin price where it is obviously just going after liquidity, and it's just kind of obviously just chopping people up. But if you just, if you zoom out, and let me just get rid of obviously these lines here. Each time we've consolidated has just been reaccumulation. So obviously let me just go out. So I don't know whether I would call it manipulation as such. You can definitely see moves in the consolidation where it looks like obviously that is just pure fuckery and it's obviously just designed to liquidate people. But basically, we've just had consolidation after consolidation after consolidation, haven't we? And obviously, all it has been is just reaccumulation. You know, obviously that was kind of one big one. And then obviously on to the next one now. So some of them don't actually last that long. Some of them last longer than others. Some of them don't last that long. Some of them last longer than others. Yeah. But each time, obviously, it's just been reaccumulation. And sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it doesn't take that long at all. Like, obviously, this one was a lot shorter than this one and this one. But it's just reaccumulation and just kind of obviously waiting for the market to obviously take its move and show its hand. But it is definitely the cycle of... I mean, look at that. If you actually go back, I think what's pretty crazy is if you go back to the actual start of the cycle, right? So if you go back to the start of the cycle, and I'll make a note of this on here. So we had obviously the bottom formed. We then had what you would consider probably 3 weeks of trending. So 1, 2, 3. We then obviously consolidated for like 8 months there. Then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then consolidation, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we had consolidation, and again, this is a bit difficult, this one, because obviously I suppose it really considers where you would say this trended. And again, this basically all wasn't really one trend. This was where it consolidated. We got a drop down and a pump back up, but then obviously that just hit resistance again. We didn't go into price discovery. So really, you could just say that is 1 week of trending, because this consolidated basically at the highs here, didn't it? Pretty much. We could add another 2 in. We'll add another 2 in just for good measure. But if you actually look at that, since the bottom, and obviously the breakout from the bottom in January 2023, we have had 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22. 22 weeks of trending. And ultimately, obviously, a lot of them made up. If you look at this one, they wasn't really even trending weeks, was they? They were like, you know, that was a span of 4 weeks, and the price only went up $4,000. So even them, you know, that row in there, basically all we had is 1 candle there, 2, 3. Obviously, the rest of them in there wasn't actually trending candles, but they were part of the trend. But yeah, across, you know, 2.5 years, we've actually only had less than half a year that has actually been spent trending. The rest of it has been spent in consolidation or slow bleed down. So yeah, I need to now get rid of all them. So it's just by design. It's just by design to mess with people and to obviously generate liquidity and reaccumulation zones. You know, it's all it is just a reaccumulation zone. SEC plans to introduce innovation exception for Bitcoin and crypto firms. Okay. Why are perpetual prices higher than spot prices, e.g. Asta? Because they run off different. They're obviously different pairings. So even though the USDT, obviously some of them are USDT spot and USDT perps prices, you always have a slight discrepancy because of the order book. So they may not be exactly the same, but roughly they are, you know, very close to each other. Just obviously one is in terms of spot and one is perps driven. I understand, but everybody, all the big parties, even Trump is talking about crypto. So why are we not going up? Because they're not in control of the market, really, are they? They're not in control of the market. Trump isn't in control of the market. You've got to, because we still have a big discrepancy on who is in control of the market. You have, on one hand, you have ETFs that obviously hold a lot of Bitcoin now and have a big, obviously, hand in the market. You have exchanges. And then you also just have, OGs, Bitcoin whales that have probably been a part of the market and done their own market making, and, obviously swayed the market for a good long while. You could also throw, obviously, if you don't count them as in the exchange package, you also have, obviously, market makers. There's a lot of different working parts that make up this Bitcoin market, and it is actually going to probably change a lot over the next few years in terms of who actually controls the market. But just because everyone's talking about it doesn't mean it go up. Bitcoin needs a lot of capital to go in it, for it to move. To get Bitcoin from here to 120k alone is a massive amount of capital injection. And obviously that isn't just going to come from some, Trump talking about it on TV. You need, obviously, the exchanges to push it. You need, obviously, either the ETFs to start buying it up, or you need, obviously, just a group of individuals with, obviously, big market share to do it. But really, the market needs to generate liquidity. There needs to be the upside liquidity there to go after, to then obviously give the price the hand in that explosive breakout. And generating liquidity like Bitcoin needs for these high time frame, big explosive moves takes time. That's why you see long consolidation. Also, just reaccumulation, like I said. Enough time for the entities to reaccumulate as much of the spot as they want. Do you know, Dave, does Stonksy take into account the money flow or order book? I have to calculate the background or oscillator. Probably we'll ask Dean that. Save that question for when Dean's back off holiday. Dean will be back on Saturday, so save that question for him, mate. I'll be honest, I don't actually know the answer to that. Asta is flying, yeah, it is, which hopefully I think may lead into Dex perp season. I'm analysing Asta chart. Should I analyse on Asta spot or Asta perp? It really don't matter. It really doesn't matter. For something the size of Asta, it really doesn't matter. QNT. Yeah, Asta's doing well though. I mean, I'm so salty about this. I saw this at 33 cents and didn't buy it. I think this is probably just going to do one straight line to $5 maybe. Not financial advice. Don't go and buy it based on that. But obviously not one straight line in terms of the 1 hour, but maybe looking at the daily, weekly, whatever. I think they're just going to keep sending this and sending it and sending it. Is my opinion anyway. How high? I don't know. I'll have a look at QNT in a minute. Just going to go out, grab a quick drink and stuff. But yeah, I'm still here. Anyway, yeah, carry on the chat going. I like all these questions. I like people getting the charts in and stuff. Keep letting me know. Yeah, we'll be carrying on. We'll be carrying on. We'll have a look at some more altcoins and stuff next. Right. Let's carry on rocking. I'm low leverage long on it from 185. Going to keep it open. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with it, but yeah, I mean, I think that they might just keep sending this, which is why I've personally taken an interest in these two tokens, Zex on Sol, which will soon be rebranded to Bullet, but it's basically the same thing, like Hyperliquid Asta and whatever on Solana, and then BLOFIN, which is exactly the same kind of thing but on Sui. So I think it could become a narrative, and obviously the rolling thing going into Q4. So what that's for QNT, didn't it? Let's see, QNT. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously daily demand in here. Obviously we had consolidation and then impulse up. We then had a test, and then obviously testing it again today. So this is demand. If we're going to drop down lower, I would probably expect it to come into there. So in towards like kind of 75-ish would be the next logical step down, in my opinion, anyway. And then from up to up, you've got multiple different things to choose from. Obviously, we've got clear resistance here. You've got probably a decent like ladder, obviously back to the upside, and then obviously you've got the high up here. So it depends how you're trading it. Obviously, if you're swinging it, if you're swinging the position, obviously your invalidation is obviously kind of like breaking down below the demand, and then obviously maybe looking for or back up to the highs, maybe back up towards the highs, whatever. You could also maybe be just simply looking for a retest of this first resistance level, whatever. But that's probably what seeing for the immediate future anyway. Obviously for down or up, and then if we zoom out, if you get above these July highs, then obviously it's just back towards the 2024 late 2024 high. So there we go. As easy as that. As easy as that. Crypto stocks. Yeah, we'll have a look. ARB. Yeah, I can have a look at ARB as well. Do make sure you drop a like on the stream if you're new here. Obviously, make sure you subscribe. Let me just have a look at crypto stocks and then we'll do ARB. I mean, a lot of these some are doing better than others, but generally they're still within what you would obviously consider consolidation. Coinbase, MicroStrategy. Obviously, GME isn't really actually one. I don't think this really gets tied to crypto that much, even though obviously they bought like $1 billion or $2 billion in Bitcoin. You don't really see this actually trading with crypto that much at all. This is obviously kind of just back onto doing its own thing. Metaplanet is just destroyed, but has actually come Metaplanet into quite a key point. Now this could bounce anywhere in here. This is obviously like quite a big zone of, you've got kind of like a 40% point in there that you could obviously derive from where I've drawn this box. You may want to pull it down, whatever. But yeah, Circle came into. I'm so annoyed I didn't trade this. Came into there after months and months and months of waiting, and then obviously has hit resistance at this SR point, and then it started falling off. Robinhood, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Crazy strength. Gemini is actually just still falling. I'm not interested in Gemini just yet. I want to see it kind of base off, but obviously this IPO'd last week, and yeah, I'm obviously interested in maybe playing some upside on this at some point. Not yet. I kind of want to see, if it can build some sort of base where you've obviously got a where you've obviously then got some risk tolerance. Tron is actually not that far from closing the gap now. SBET, obviously, Ethereum stock, UPXI, Solana, Bitminer, obviously Tom Lee's firm. And then obviously just miners in general are doing well. Miners just seem to keep going up. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have to run to the toilet before we get US Open. Do make sure you vote in the poll. Make sure you drop a like. I will be back in just a second, so don't go anywhere. And then we'll obviously be back for US Open, and then, you know, obviously just carrying on with the review. So yeah, don't go anywhere just yet. Obviously, you've got a couple of minutes. Go and grab a drink, go to the toilet, whatever. I'm just going to run to the toilet quickly, so I won't be a minute, and I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, thank you for joining so far, and do carry on. Oh, right. I'm back. Oh, wow. Wow, oh, wow. I was as quick as I could. How long was I? 5 minutes. Thank you very much for bearing with me, for those of you that stayed around. I'll have a look at ARB now for you, Naresh, straight away. TMG, is it? I was actually, yeah. No, I was. I tried to hold it. It come on me close to the start of the stream, and I was trying to hold out until the end of the stream, but it got too bad. So I just had to go and release it. So hopefully that's the only dump that we get today, and we don't get an actual market dump. But yeah, for those of it's crazy. It's crazy that only TMG was the one that decided to say that. I definitely weren't. Anthony, I definitely wasn't. I was fully not constipated. I was fully just letting it loose. But it felt good. It was one of them ones where, you know, you'd been holding it and you were just like, and then yeah, it felt good. Any good vid TMG 1k to 7k, a quick profit. Well done, Thunder Thunder. Yeah, nice. Dave's got a grotty botty. Oh, it felt good. Brown rain. Yeah, brown boulders. Brown boulders is what it was. Brown boulders. Yeah, brown boulders. Anyway, let's carry on. Let's carry on, and now that's done. Right, so we've got 8 minutes to go until US Open. So we've had 28 votes. Great on the light ratio as well. Lovely. So most of you, 86%, think that we are going up on US Open. So let's close that out. We've got 8 minutes to go. So I have ARB to look at first, don't I? Where is it? ARB. So let's go and have a look at ARB. Let's go and have a look at it on the daily. We are still green on the daily as well, which is a key thing to note after catching the rally on Stonksy, which is fantastic. As you can see, we did form quite nice daily support from in August down here. Now we have fell out of there. We've fallen out, which is disappointing, really. Yeah, disappointing. But we have come into it, so I wouldn't consider this bad. I mean, it's obviously got a level. If it was going to fall lower, I'll probably be looking for a full retest of obviously the August Open then, which would be obviously all the way back down to here. So not a massive fall off, but if it was to go down, I would probably think down into there for a retest of there. From here, it's pretty straightforward for ARB when you're looking at it actually, because obviously this was support all along August and into September. Basically, all we want to do is obviously reclaim this. So we want to reclaim. Obviously keep this as where we've obviously put the bottom in, and then we want to reclaim and then obviously start to head up from there. Obviously it depends whether you're looking low time frame, high time frame, medium time frame, whatever it may be. But if you do zoom out on ARB, and that's what we'll do, obviously I think I would actually probably get rid of that now, to be fair. Considering that it came up here in late August and obviously found resistance in there where Stonksy's got it drew, I would actually probably consider that the relevant, obviously, resistance point for further expansion. So I would actually be sticking with that. I'd probably just remove, obviously, maybe hold in there. So obviously if we break out, and I wish it would stop doing this, I would be looking up towards 81. And then from there, up towards $1. And then obviously from there, then up towards $1.20. So again, just level to level. But up to there, and then obviously up. There we go. So they'd be like my 3 key upside levels, but obviously a lot of work to do for ARB until then. And, you know, whether it goes up or down from here, we'll have to see. But yeah, the thing with these is, you know, ARB, your OP, your ARVE, your LDO, your Uniswap, whatever it may be, they're all ETH beta. So obviously, what did he rely on? Well, they rely on obviously overall market strength because, you know, obviously rising tide lifts all boats. Bitcoin goes up, takes Ethereum up, takes other altcoins up. But also the outperformance on ETH. You can see obviously when ETH started outperforming, ARB went on to basically do a 2x. So it relies on obviously that beta to ETH can obviously be very beneficial when ETH is running hot. So we'll just have to wait and see if that ETH strength returns. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm bloody hell. Bloody hell. Check form. Okay, we'll have a look. Dave, are you wearing your kippah for Shabbat? I don't know what that is. I'll be honest. I don't know what that is, so I can't really comment yes or no. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't want to be saying these words because I don't know what they mean. So I'm a bit hesitant to be saying all this on stream because I don't know what these words mean. Anthony says Chippy is going to be one to watch soon. Yeah. I'm a bit hesitant. I'm not saying any of them words. I'm not saying any of them words. I have no idea what they mean. What was we doing anyway? Then someone asked for something. Oh, it was form. Form. Let's see. What is this? What sort of rug pulling absolute joke is this? Hang on. There must be some more price action, so surely. No, this looks like it just listed on all exchanges on day one. It was on MEXC and Binance on day one, so it must have been on all of them from day one. That is shocking. I mean, what are you supposed to do here with this? That is absolutely diabolical. Down over 70% since the 8th of September. That is diabolical. Yeah. I mean, the thing with something like this is there literally is no bottom, is there? Because as we can see, we've looked on the exchange charts and even MEXC listed on the same day. So I assume there's probably, there's not really any price action to find. So where does it end? Where does this dip end? You just don't know, do you? Because there's no price action. So this could go, I mean, from here, to be fair, -2 looks about a good number for this. -2 looks about a good number. So I heard exchanges may actually start paying you to take form from them. So if we go to -2 from here, probably carry on dripping down, and then maybe just start leveling off around -2. Yeah, I do believe that exchanges will actually start paying you $2 for each form token that you take off them just to get it off the hands. So that's probably what we want to see. Is it down towards -2 somewhere? Because that looks like that's where it's going. So that's probably what we want to keep an eye on, is definitely when we get into the minuses on this. That's a pretty crazy chart. Yeah, I mean, what are you supposed to do with that? Literally, you could buy this thing and you could be down another 50% tomorrow because there literally is. It's just gambling, isn't it? It's just gambling. Have you seen NACA stock? It's doing the same. NACA is the ticker. It's kindly the Bitcoin Reserve Company. Let's see. Wait, why have I done that? Why have I done USDT? There we go. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is obviously one of the ones. There's a lot of these about, hasn't there? Where obviously they've announced a reserve, popped up massively and then obviously just slowly drifted back to the starting point. It's actually quite interesting that it's come back all the way to the starting point. Do you know, I actually built up a few of these and then I kind of just lost track with because there was so many. Oh wait, hang on, we're open, aren't we? We're open on the market. Hang on, let me go on to the 5-minute chart. Hang on, bear with me. There we go, we're open. Let's see what we get. Yeah, we need to break above here. We need to break above here convincingly and then pop. Otherwise, we're just going to stay consolidating. But yeah, let's go back to that chart because that was interesting. So there is a lot of these actually, and I'll show you what I got anyway of reserve companies. I did put these together probably like a month ago, maybe more, and then I just kind of lost track. There was that many releasing reserves that I just lost track of it. But obviously you got all these are either small ones or obviously bigger ones. Now there was an absolute terrible looking one. This one. I don't know if you've heard of this TMG, but Coincillium. I can't remember what reserve it was these guys announced. I assume it was a Bitcoin one as well. But look at the absolute state of that. It went from, $3-4 all the way up to $80, $90 at the peak. And then it's all the way back down. This is a stock. And this is the thing, innit, is with these treasury companies, is they announce a treasury and then it just goes pop and sends it straight away. There was another one as well, and I can't remember what it was called. What's this? No, it's not this one. There was one, but all these, some of them are tiny stocks, some of them are larger stocks, some of them are listed on the London Stock Exchange, some of them are listed on something different. But there was one where it had listed Chainlink as a treasury. They'd done a link treasury, and the stock was just dead, and then it got like a 1-day pop. And then look at this, look at this one. This is on the London Stock Exchange. These guys announced the Bitcoin reserve, and look what happened with the price. So obviously this was where some sort of buying was going on before the announcement. But in from like 40 cents, something like that, all the way up, over a 10x, and then all the way back down again. And yeah, these are all similar. Semler Scientific, another one, Bitcoin treasury company, or I don't know what, maybe Ethereum or something. I'm not sure what asset, but again, another one. Pop. Oh no, sorry. Where was theirs announced? Maybe it was here. Can't remember, but yeah. I think companies may just start using it as an excuse, obviously, to pump the stock price, which is what I think we're seeing now with obviously just ridiculousness happening with them. Some doing Doge treasuries and Link treasuries and all that. But that Naka one, yeah, all the way back to the starting point. So it looks good risk reward from that point, doesn't it? Not much happening on the market. Yeah, it was the same yesterday as well. Like as soon as we got US Open yesterday, we got like a couple of $100 up and down in the first half an hour. It was very, very quiet. Some company announced AVAX Treasury buying $750 million worth. AVAX had a good run, hasn't it? AVAX had a really good run. And I'm annoyed that I didn't trade AVAX. I'm guessing this was the announcement here, maybe. I'm guessing this was the announcement. That looks like it pumped like 10%. But I'm annoyed with AVAX because obviously we charted it out, for obviously breaking resistance. And I just never traded it. I never traded the breakout, which is annoying. But yeah. Really, really strong move. I mean, look at that. Look at that for the wick in the end yesterday on AVAX. Look at the size of that daily wick. Actually closed positive as well in the end. But it wicked all the way down to sub $30 and closed at 34 despite the Bitcoin weakness yesterday. That is what you call real strength in it. I'm probably expecting $40 AVAX soon. And yeah, just annoyed that I didn't load up on it. Same, had an alert set for the breakout and I missed it. Yeah, part of the game, innit? Unfortunately, it's part of the game. But on to the next. Ooh. Oh, hang on then. We're starting to press a bit on Bitcoin. No, we're not. This is the area we need to break. Obviously, if you look on the 1 hour, we've got this, haven't we? But comfortably, 113,200 for an hourly close. And then it looks good. And then, yeah, I don't know which direction it'll take, but I'm probably estimating up towards here before either retracement or continuation. Is what I'm looking for anyway. Whether we get it or not is a different question, isn't it? Pepe looks good. Pepe's obviously trying to break that low time frame resistance that we've got coming in across here. You can see it, across there very nicely. But yeah, I assume there's probably lots of different things. Let's go and have a look at ETH. We haven't really looked too much. Tell you what we'll do. Give me 1 second. Oh no, wait. Actually, what am I doing? I'll show you. Let me see. Yeah. So ETH, just come right into this demand zone again, hasn't it? This obviously point where we've tested, and yeah, looking like it's held. Everything's looking like it's holding. Now, what we want to see, obviously, is if you notice on the 4 hour, we are now obviously into the pink on the oscillator, and we have been at the -1. So obviously at the extremity of the oscillator. If you look on Bitcoin again, at -1 on the oscillator, came into a key region, and are just so slowly starting to trend up into the pink as well. And it's the same on the 1 hour too. So we just need that follow through. We just need that pierce above 113k properly, and then we'll be on our way then. But yeah, if you look at ETH, it's just in one big zone, isn't it? We've got demand down here, and then you've got resistance up here, and then we just want breakout, of course. So, yeah. That's what we want anyway. Got to run, Dave. Have a good day. Yeah, thanks for joining, Jeff, mate. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow. But yeah, it's just one big... This is, again, just probably reaccumulation on ETH, you would imagine. It's probably just reaccumulation on ETH. But yeah, really, really focused on looking at the oscillator for at the moment for this move. Obviously, again, at -1 flat on the 1 hour. Once we start to see that trend up and go into the pink, happy days. Bitcoin, we have actually gone into the pink, but we just want just ever so slightly need to start seeing trending up, and then that should give us the relief then to go up. So yeah, all eyes on the oscillator. Pump down 40%. You would imagine that should mark the bottom for it, unless it's going to go on for a real deep retrace. But you would think 40% down marks some sort of bottom. If there's any other altcoins you want me to look at specifically, let me know. I'm just looking through the watch list to see if there's anything. I mean, S starting to recover more than others. Obviously, that's 4%, and you can see this is a pattern you'll see on most things now. Is obviously with the steep drop down, the consolidation, and then obviously either waiting to break out or already going. So you can see that this is ahead of some things when you compare that to, say, ETH. Look at the structure on that, and then look at the structure on that. Drop down, consolidation, but yet to break out. You can see S is kind of moving before most things there. Peaks in a league of its own. There's nothing really else that's jumping out at me. Someone got me to look at this yesterday. That seems to be doing well today. I have no idea what this thing is. This 0G. But it launched yesterday at like $1 billion market cap on every exchange. And obviously it's carried on going up. No idea what it is. But it seems to be doing quite well. Foley, how are we doing? Can you please explain how the oscillator works? Of course. Yeah, of course. So, oscillator, obviously, got a few different things. You've got the line, you've got the histogram, you've then got the arrows, and then you can't actually see them here. Let me zoom out. If not, I'll get them on a different time frame. I'm not sure how often they appear on the 1 hour. It's not very often. Let me go to a different time frame. You can see them here. So these dots are overbought and oversold signals. Overbought and oversold signals. So they are them. Now, obviously, the way the oscillator measures is obviously based on momentum. So when we get the oscillator into the 1 or -1 regions, obviously then you are looking for some sort of shift in momentum, or if it remains flatlined, it could be obviously just upside momentum or downside momentum. The turn in momentum just isn't there yet. So what we want to see is obviously one of two things, is either the shift into the lighter color, so obviously red into pink or dark green into light green for obviously if you're looking to short something, and then obviously it starts to curl up. That will then obviously line up with a shift in momentum going the other way. So that's the line, particularly obviously when we're looking at these higher time frame ones. It's very, very telling. Once you get into the extremity of the -1 or 1, then it's very, very telling once that starts to happen. We also have obviously the bullish and bearish arrows. Now, especially on the 1 hour, these can be very, very effective. They have a very high hit rate. I have posted a video on the channel, and I'll show you where that is in case you do want to go and watch it. This one. So uploaded 2 weeks ago. Best Bitcoin trade signal, high hit rate. Go and have a watch of this video after the stream. That is on the oscillator arrows. But basically, these obviously are similar to the ones that we have on the chart, but obviously mostly focusing around momentum. These have a great hit rate once they come in identifying obviously turning points or places where you can start to position in. And obviously tied together with the actual indicator provides massive value. It was just over the weekend on pump. So if we look on pump, I'll show you a very good, if you want to see an example, I'll show you a very good example here on pump. So over the weekend here, I put into the Discord server about pump on Saturday, and it was on this candle here. So I put in obviously about that it had approached the key level. So the key level was, let me pull it up for you. If it's, yeah, here we go. So I put in that pump had approached the key level, which was there, obviously a retest of them highs to the left that you saw, and that the oscillator was at -1 on the 4 hour. So obviously that tied with that, there was some good pieces of evidence there to suggest that at least a relief was coming on pump. So like I said, that was on this candle here. And then obviously we got some, nice push to the upside. So even if you got anywhere in on this candle, at least that would have been, 5 to 10% anywhere in and around that region, obviously before we fell off. But that was outlining, obviously that pump was at -1 on the oscillator on the 4 hour. It had come into a key level. Them two things added together, your risk rewards there to obviously punt something. And obviously, as you can see, the oscillator went into minus pink and started to trend up. And then obviously momentum come back in, slammed back into the dark red and back down towards -1. So that's how, I used it over the weekend to look for an opportunity in the market, which was pump. And yeah, obviously, depending on where you would get in, even if you got in, on the middle of this candle, there's 5%, there's 6, 7, 8, 9, and then obviously 10 towards the top. So that was something that we used directly in the Discord. I put that in on Saturday, and it traded up quite nicely then. And that was obviously using just a simple level and the oscillator to come to the theory that at least a bounce was coming. I got a run. Oh well, yeah. Thanks for joining. Mate. See you tomorrow. Boomer says, "Guy, are you ready? 98k." Well, you're missing a few words there. But I'm assuming saying, "Guys, are you ready for 98k?" Whatever the market whatever the market shows. If the market goes to 98k, then the market goes to 98k. You've got to position accordingly, haven't we? What is your theory and your kind of plan for 98k? Like, what is the evidence that you're seeing to take you to 98k? How have you come to the conclusion of 98? Let us know in the comment section. But yeah, it's been another quite dry day, hasn't it? Quite a dry day so far in US. First 15 minutes and we've barely moved. See, bit of a mixture on the S&P today, isn't it? Nvidia's down just shy of 2%. Was that an all-time high on Nvidia yesterday? No, just was it? Oh no, it was. Yeah, I think. Yeah, just about. Yeah, equal, maybe equal to that one. Looks about just about an all-time high though. Down 2% today though, almost. Tesla's up 1%. So going against the market there. And then the rest of them aren't really doing that much, to be fair. And I'm still waiting for Boomer's trade theory on why 98k is coming. I'm fascinated to know. It'll be very interesting to know. Yeah, it's a bit quiet out there, isn't it? It's a bit quiet out there. Is it the calm before the storm of Bitcoin's next move? Yeah, no worries, Foley. Yeah, give it a check out, mate. Give it a check out, and obviously, if you've got any other questions, you know what to do. Just hop in and ask. Yeah. Yeah, there's not much going on, is there? We do have something today. Oh, we had it. Actually, we missed it. S&P Global. A couple minutes ago. Had that a couple minutes ago, but... pardon me. We do have Powell speaking. We have Pavel speaking today at 25 to 6. 25 to 6 UK time. There's not that much actually occurring this week. There is just obviously this today, and then I think that's it until Friday. Yeah. We've got GDP annualized, but that's just a recalculation. So there's not really much going on after Powell speaks today. It's just waiting then for PCE on Friday, and that's it. So not really too much going on. Yeah, let me know in the chat if there's anything that you want me to look at, especially. That plug is going mental. From Short Video Guru there. What a move. So on the 24-hour outlook, Bitcoin's hot liquidity is above where you would expect, obviously above that low time frame resistance, which is obviously where shorts are going to have their stops and liquidation points. In terms of a 3-day outlook, same kind of area, obviously above the highs where it's currently rejecting. Looking on the weekly outlook, we just ripped into downside liquidity, didn't we? As you can see, we took a big chunk out here, but then just ripped into it all on the way down on that big, strong push down. The hot piece of liquidity is 118,700 on the 1 week. So obviously a big push up from here to achieve that. In a 2-week time horizon, same kind of thing, up towards 119. Again, took that out to the downside there. As you can see, cleared all this out and kind of has left this void to the downside and upside on that. But yeah, big juicy stuff moving towards 120, that's for sure, if we can do that. That's pretty much it. It's a bit strange, isn't it? We're not really used to this. Normally, on US Open, we have volatility, whether it be up or down. But past 2 days, yesterday and today, we've had nothing in terms of volatility on US Open, have we? We've had nothing at all. So, yeah, maybe we get something later in the session. I am expecting Bitcoin to start pushing back up, at least towards 115k, to kind of close that void it's left behind. So whether that leads us on to higher or not, we'll have to see. What's happened to this? But yeah, we'll leave it there for today while there's nothing really much going on. There's nothing else to discuss, is there? Thank you very much for joining. Make sure you drop a like on the video if you haven't. Obviously, make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Subscribe. I go live every single day, Monday to Friday. So yeah, do come and join me. And of course, yeah, come and check out Stonksy if you haven't. It is our last week of running the discounts. So 35% off lifetime, 35% off annual. So these are automatically applied at checkout on the lifetime and annual, and they will be coming to an end after this week, them discounts. So yeah, do come and check it out. Also, of course, you can grab 20% off your first month. If you want to come and try the monthly, you can grab 20% off with code BOT20. But if you want to grab, obviously, any of these discounts, they are coming to an end after this week. So now is your time to do so before they obviously disappear. And of course, you know, the annual and lifetime offer big discounts, and you get access to everything on them as well. You do on that monthly plan, it is just obviously this one where you just get access to the oscillator and Discord server. But yeah, obviously, last chance on to claim them. And yeah, thank you very much. See you later, Dunderfunder, and I'll see the rest of you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye for now.